Brad Lawler over at Home Team. Carol writes in. She is selling her home. It is a septic tank. And a septic company, and we're not going to give out the name of this particular company, wants to replace the entire septic system, even though it's working. And the cost apparently is something just under $20,000. She says she's not sure about doing all that and doesn't need it. So what would your thoughts be on a second opinion?
Second opinion, yeah, I'm always going to suggest a second opinion for some of these large purchases. I'm afraid sometimes, technicians and salespeople get caught up in the idea that everyone's going to buy new systems without asking any questions. Yeah, it's unusual that you'd have to replace the entire septic system if it was working. Now, if it was backing up, if there were, it was damaged somehow to the septic tank itself, I mean, leaching fields become damaged, over time. I understand replacing some of those, but not an entire system. That would be pretty unusual. I don't know exactly what the reason would be there unless it's infiltrated by tree roots. But yeah, I definitely get a second opinion. Just talk to another septic company, see what they have to say about it. It may just be simple maintenance that's required versus an entire system replacement. Because yeah, that's those can be big ticket items.
And the problem that we've found, let's say you're selling your house, you've got a buyer, the buyer brings in an inspector for a septics. They do the inspection. They said that this particular inspector, let's say, says it needs to be replaced. Now you bring in your own person
Right.
and that person says, no, it doesn't need to be replaced. Now you've got somewhat of an odds at each other, and no one wins then unless you can come up with a third person, and that's another cost. So, Chuck, any thoughts on that one from your end of it as a legal side of it? Nothing you can do,
No,
right?
that's just negotiation. Some people don't want to do everything. They don't want to fix everything. It's just negotiation.
If this second septic company brought in by the seller says nothing is needed and they put it in writing
Mhm.
on their letterhead with their license number, that does hold some validity in
It
terms of
does,
any,
but
right? Yeah.
always have to remember the concept of privity of contract. Who is that person working for?
Mm.
If they were working for you and they put all this down on a piece of paper, I can't come after them for saying, hey, you made a mistake. I would have to have them working for me.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's always something to keep in mind.
Got it. All right. If by chance you are thinking of selling, we should tell you I've got a free, no obligation booklet. It has hundreds of useful tips. Send me an email, bob@wesellouisville.com. Put selling tips in the subject line. I'll send it out to you. And on the same level, if you're thinking of selling and you are concerned about an inspection, Brad Lawler and Home Team have a booklet as well that we handed out via email on home inspections and what to expect. And so, again, send me an email, bob@wesellouisville.com, and I will send that out to you immediately. Coming up in just a couple of minutes, 13 items in your kitchen that you and maybe Chuck Crosby and Brad Lawler and myself may want to throw away immediately when I tell you what those are. Continuing with us is Chuck Crosby, who is the owner of the Crosby Law Office. They do real estate closings and do a great job at it, and also wills, powers of attorney, commissioner sales, and foreclosure defense. Chuck's a man of many trades. You can reach Chuck anytime at 499-6360. If you're thinking of, by chance, needing a home inspection, you can pick your own home inspector. Home Team Inspection Service is great. Brad Lawler owns them. And you can reach Brad for the Home Team Inspection or Team Bug Out, 844-411-TEAM. And if you're thinking of selling your home, I would love to at least talk to you, just give you what the process is, look at the market, what the prices are. I actually bring my laptop out and we look at comparables in your neighborhood and in your area so that you can see exactly. It's not just here, this is what it's worth. We look at exactly what your competition is and what the prices are. You can reach me for a free, no obligation estimate and time, 376-5483. That's 376-5483. Or go to bobsellslouisville.com. We're back in a moment on News Radio 840 WHAS.